Every day, someone new gets their account hacked or compromised. Sometimes they lose just one NFT, but sometimes multi-millionaire investors even get spoofed into signing faulty transactions or opening phishing links that expose their passwords and key phrases. I personally feel like this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest issues with NFTs right now. So with that in mind, I'm going to walk you through how to set up your accounts and wallets for maximum safety in today's video. All right, the actual first thing to look at is the different types of crypto wallets that you have available to you. The first type of wallet is a hot software wallet. Things like MetaMask, Coinbase Wallet, or Trust Wallet are examples of hot, digitally stored software wallets. Now, these could be considered vulnerable and risky because they typically just require one password that you enter on your desktop browser, such as Google Chrome or Firefox. And after you type in your password on your phone or on your desktop, you have full access to all of the wallets within your account. This type of wallet is the riskiest option, but can still be safe to use as long as you're very careful with your security, your risk control, and your browsing behavior. Now, I do not recommend this type of wallet for any long-term holding or for any valuable NFTs to be stored in here. I would certainly not hold large amounts of crypto in a hot software wallet either. All you need to do to lose access to one of these wallets is have any hacker to gain access to your computer or your wallet password. They could then control any of the funds that are in there by sending money out or transferring NFTs to any of their own personal wallets with just a few clicks. The main use case for hot wallets like this is for active trading of NFTs or for sending and receiving smaller amounts of crypto. These wallets are typically good for minting new NFTs as well, where the risk of a rug pull and rogue transactions is much higher than transacting with an established marketplace like OpenSea or Coinbase or Binance, or even just sending between wallets. The second type of wallet is a custodial wallet, and these are simply just exchange wallets. Your cryptocurrency is essentially in the control of an exchange like Coinbase, Binance, or FTX. The benefit here is that ideally the exchange will take great security measures to protect the crypto or NFTs in these wallets. However, most exchanges do not have insurance policies for user error. Like a traditional bank account where it's FDIC insured, and if something goes wrong, you are insured up to a certain amount of money to be recouped if you make a mistake or if you get hacked. That is not the case yet in crypto, and certainly not so in NFTs. So if someone hacks into your account on Coinbase, for example, or on FTX US, where you can actually trade NFTs as well, and removes all of your money or removes all of your NFTs, it's unlikely that that exchange will be able to recover your funds or reimburse you for compromised accounts due to your own user account breaches. One thing you can do with custodial wallets is set up an extra layer of two-factor authentication, where you need not only a password, but also a constantly changing secondary passcode, aka 2FA, or 2 layers of authentication, 2 layers of security. Usually you can set these up to text your phone a 2FA code, or you can use an app like Authy or Google Authenticator to set up your two-factor authentication code, which changes every 30 seconds, and ideally only you can access since you only have your phone. 2FA is great because even if someone gains access to your account login and your password, they may still not be able to get in if they don't also have your 2FA code. And since that changes so frequently, it's even more safe. If possible, I'd recommend using an app, or even better, using a security key like YubiKey, which is a physical device that you have to touch to verify these 2FA logins. This will help prevent savvy hackers from stealing your phone identity through SIM swapping. So to clarify, the two-factor authentication security rankings would be as follows. Text message is the least secure, 2FA authentication apps are middle security, and then security keys like YubiKey are the most secure options for 2FA. In addition to two-factor authentication, custodial wallets also allow you to whitelist addresses. This means you can input specific wallet addresses outside of the exchange that you approve or whitelist sending to. This is all set up so that if a hacker were to gain access to your account by somehow bypassing your login and your two-factor authentication and then gain control of your account, they would only be able to withdraw funds to your selected whitelist addresses. So for example, if I'm a hacker and I wanted to whitelist a new address on an account that I just hacked to send the funds to myself, it would take 24 to 48 hours for that to take effect. This would therefore give you time to contact the exchange and get your account frozen before the hacker has the time to steal your funds. These security measures have been pretty good so far from what I've seen. However, the one major drawback to custodial wallets is that technically you don't really own your funds. You may have heard the phrase, not your keys, not your coins, and that applies here as well. If you don't actually have full control of your wallet and your seed phrase to your wallet, then you don't really own your coins or your NFT tokens within those wallets. If Coinbase went bankrupt or did something sketchy with your funds, there could be lots of issues getting that money back. For a company like Coinbase or Binance or FTX, this is extremely unlikely, but it's a possibility that we have to be aware of. The third and final and most secure wallet type is cold hardware wallets. And if these wallets are truly offline, meaning they have no access to the internet, then nobody can digitally compromise them. Examples of cold wallets include the Ledger Nano S or X or Trezor. These are usually physical USB looking devices that take your wallet and encrypt the information on it. When you sign transactions online to buy or sell NFTs or to send crypto, you will then have to physically approve the transaction on your device by pressing it. This helps tremendously with security because a hacker would either have to have your seed phrase or physically have access to your device to access the funds from your wallet. If you want to store your funds or NFTs fully offline, you can put them on your cold hardware wallet and lock it up in a safe place that nobody can access except for you. When it comes to hardware wallets, there's a few things you absolutely need to know. Number one, do not buy cold wallets from Amazon. People can send you a hacked wallet where they are reselling it on Amazon and already have the seed phrase for that wallet, meaning that they can access the funds in it whenever they want as long as they have your seed phrase for that device. So instead, make sure you buy hardware wallets directly from manufacturer websites. When you receive your hardware device, you'll be able to confirm that it's legit and brand new with Ledger or Trezor's software. Number two, do not ever store your seed phrase online or digitally. That means not on your phone. That means not on your computer. In other words, do not write your seed phrase anywhere that can be digitally accessed on the internet. If anyone gets access to your seed phrase, it can override even your hardware wallet. So make sure you write down your seed phrase legibly on good paper or even better on metal and store it somewhere very safe. Somewhere where it can't get burnt or lost or water damage or destroyed by an earthquake or anything that might be ridiculous but could happen. If you want to take this super seriously and have a considerable amount of money or NFTs you want to back up, you can consider getting a steel seed phrase wallet backup like this one right here. These are waterproof, fireproof, and earthquake proof. So again, if you're storing a lot of value on these devices, it's definitely worth it in my opinion to spend a few $100 extra to make sure you're being secure and backed up. You really don't want to be that person that invests early on a project, makes millions of dollars, and then can't find their seed phrase or hardware wallet to claim your fortune. Point number three, never share your seed phrase with anyone for any reason, ever, even if there's a fire. I'm serious here. This is like the most important part of this whole video. Never, ever, nobody, nada, not even your mom, not even your dog, not even your cat, no one should know your seed phrase but you. If someone is asking for your seed phrase, it's likely a scam. And I'm harping on this a ton because I want to make sure you understand that this is such a critical part that many beginners make a mistake of. Exposing your seed phrase by screen sharing or typing it on a Word doc on your computer are all ways you can get hacked and unfortunately lose a lot of money in the process. For storing NFTs on different wallets, I like to use a management structure similar to this. This is the wallet structure from WAGMI University. You can check them out on Twitter if you want to. Also follow me on the Twitter, Matt Cabuzio. You're really not going to regret it, I promise. But right here, here's how they have it, right? We talked about hot wallets, we talked about cold wallets, and you should really have about 4 to 5, maybe even 6 wallets set up for NFTs specifically because there's a lot of different purposes you need to use them for. For your first hot wallet here, you're going to have your minting wallet. This is the one you're going to submit to different projects where you have whitelists for, and generally this one's going to be pretty risky. You want to have just enough Ethereum in here that you can make your purchases and then transfer those NFTs to your other cold wallets we'll get to in a second. You're going to have very few NFTs in here, maybe ones that you don't care about that much that are very cheap that you can afford to lose, God forbid you get hacked. Don't keep a lot of important stuff here. The next wallet here, if you're a true degen and you want to go hardcore, this is the wallet where you have connections to sites that might be more risky, that are true degen plays. If someone sends you a link at 2 a.m. and says, yo, mint this shit, trust me, it's going to work out, this is the wallet you want to use because It's one that you might lose, you might get compromised, but you keep absolutely zero NFTs in here. You never keep that much money in here, just enough to be able to quickly make purchases like this one that are super risky. And then if you really want to go crazy, you can have a burner wallet, which is basically just a double degen wallet, where it's a totally risky, you know you're going into risky assets. It's got very, very little and absolutely zero NFTs in it. Very, very little amount of crypto. As you can see here, it's basically your experimentation wallet. Now, the more important part here is the cold wallets. They call it a lukewarm wallet here, which is basically going to be the one that you have to sign in for OpenSea or Collabland or other trusted sites to verify your NFTs. You probably have most of your NFTs in here, some valuable ones that require frequent usage. So if you're playing a game like Cool Cats, or you're playing any other kind of PvE game and you need to use these frequently, but you want to have them in a more secure place because they're more valuable, this is where you'd want to put them. The last wallet is the most important one. We're going to have the bulk of your value, the bulk of your long-term Ethereum you're holding, or long-term crypto coins you're holding, and most of your NFT gems, your big blue chips, your big value ones that you're going to hold long-term. These are basically ice cold. They're offline. They're in a wallet that you don't transact with ever. You don't connect it to anything. You only send things to it and consider it your vault. The only types of transactions you should ever do on here is if you ever want to sell one of these things, you can send it out to another one of your wallets to sell, or you can send and receive Ethereum directly through the wallet itself, but don't ever connect it to third-party sites or sign transactions unnecessarily. If you ever click on something or feel that your account or wallet may have been compromised, you should send your crypto or NFTs to a new secure wallet immediately, and then you can revoke all allowances to that wallet that may have been compromised using a site like revoke.cash. This site shows you all the transactions you've signed and what allowances you've given each of those sites. You can revoke those connections at any time. But keep in mind that when you do revoke those allowances, it's going to cost you a small amount of gas to do it each time. So if you've minted 100 NFTs and you are worried about your wallet being compromised from one of those websites, you can go on revoke.cash and revoke the allowance for just that website. But if you wanted to revoke the allowances for all those sites and whatever allowances you've given them, it's going to cost gas for each individual one, which is why it makes a lot of sense to have the wallet structure we set up before so that you have burner wallets. You may ask how a wallet can even get compromised or hacked in the first place. You may have asked this early on in the video, and so here we go. I gotta say, with the NFT space right now, there is so much money and it's so early that there are scams galore, and it stinks. But this is how it is right now. So for that reason, you have to be aware what not to do. Generally speaking, most hacks will occur through faulty links that you will click that give hackers access to run scripts on your browser, or phishing links where you click a link through an email or on Twitter or on any other social media like Discord even, and you sign into your accounts thinking it's the real website, but really you're just giving your login credentials to a bad actor. So the main solution to staying secure is do not click random links without checking them first. Usually when someone sends me a link, I like to go and type in the website myself to make sure I'm going to the proper URL and I'm not clicking on something that looks like a facebook.com but actually isn't. Now, if the site looks suspect with the link, I usually avoid going there altogether. There are sites where you can go and pop in the link to see if it is a faulty link or has bad actors behind it and is known to be a bad link. This also goes for picture downloads and PDFs. OX Author is a massive investor in the crypto and NFT space and actually got caught up in a nasty phishing attack recently. The hacker had access to his computer weeks before he actually stole millions of dollars worth of valuable NFTs. So it's safe to say that this happens to the best of us. Nobody is smarter than some of these social engineering ploys. And a lot of it's happening, again, on email, Twitter, and Discord, which is stuff that we use every single day in this space. As such, here are some ways to help filter out spam and potential threats. Tip number 1, turn private messaging off for Discord. In other words, don't allow anyone to DM you, because bots will randomly spam you pretending that you've won a whitelist spot or a giveaway, and sometimes it happens way too often where people believe this and then click on those links, and next thing you know, they have cleaned your wallet out. Most Discords state that they will never private message you in the case of winning a giveaway or a whitelist spot, so be very careful. That being said, some Discords do require you to turn on private messaging for verification purposes, so simply turn it on, verify your account with that Discord server, and then immediately turn it back off. Tip number 2, change your Discord password frequently, and maybe even all of your passwords frequently. Sometimes people will hack into a Discord account and then use the hacked account to send scam links to other people that trust that person. Hackers can get to your Discord token, which is essentially bypassing your login and your two-factor authentication, but the only way to change your token if this happens, or to regularly change your token so that it doesn't happen, is to change your Discord password. Doing this resets your Discord token, and it's important that you change it up frequently to be safe. Tip number 3, do not click random links on Twitter. This sounds obvious, but if you see a sponsored post of an NFT project, it's 99% likely that's a fake scam. Do not click those links. Be 100% sure that the Twitter accounts you are engaging with are the real ones. You can cross-verify Twitter accounts with that project's other social accounts. For example, I've had a ton of people impersonate me on Twitter. Luckily, I'm verified now and you should totally go follow me, but for a while I wasn't verified and I had a ton of people getting scammed thinking that the person they were talking to on Twitter was actually me. Now, some people were able to avoid this by going to my YouTube channel and seeing that the Twitter that I linked on there was actually a different one that they got reached out to in the DMs. Therefore, by cross-referencing, they were able to determine that the Twitter that was talking to them was actually an impersonator and not really me. Tip number 4, slow down. The NFT and crypto space moves at a lightning pace. It's easy to get caught up in FOMO and rush through things you see that excite you before actually thinking what it is. So before you click, take a deep breath, cross-reference, and double-check to make sure it's a legit link, regardless of where or when it's posted and how legit it may or may not look. There have been a few times where I wasn't paying full attention and almost fell for scams just like this. Everybody is vulnerable. If you want to learn even more about how to protect yourself and see what the latest social engineering ploys are, I've left some really good links to information down below in the description. Make sure you check those before you actually click them just to practice it. And I hope you got some good information from today's video. So as always, drop a like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys all next time. Take care.